How about now? Can you guys hear me? Let's do something real quick. I wonder why my audio is not working. It should be working. I see here the audio mic check. It should be working. Yep, can hear you now. All right, so perfect. The audio is working. I was worried there for a minute. Audio is working. Perfect. It's working on YouTube and it's also working on Facebook. Hopefully, it's also working on LinkedIn. All right. So today, what I wanted to talk about today, real quick, is about. Let me move this over here. I want to talk today about server-side tracking and how to use server-side tracking and Google Tag Manager along with your default client-side tracking to kind of have a better, tracking of what's going on in your landing pages, digital assets. And then, most important for the people that do pay per call and stuff like that, to have the Facebook conversion API kind of set up so you can send, events to your Facebook pixel that are coming from server side. So they're more accurate and not so much relying in, your pixel data. Just for those that you don't know, just like a quick overview and the main difference between pixel and server, right? Uh, when you're using your pixel browser to track what happens in your website, right? So pretty much you're giving access to Facebook to also see what's going on in your website. And not too long ago, Apple came up with the iOS 14 update to kind of prevent that from happening. So they don't have, third-party access to what's going on. And tracking became a little bit limited. So what you can do is that you can set up a server in Google Tag Manager, which I'm going to show you how. And then you can do the tracking on your end. It's not free, but it's also not like super expensive. Depending on how much traffic you're generating, it could be from free in some cases to like a couple bucks a month, nothing crazy. But that way you can have your own server along with your client side in Google Tag Manager and send conversions to Facebook, right? Or whatever else you want to send the conversions to. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm pretty much gonna remove myself from the screen, and then I'm gonna walk you in, show you what plugins I use to make life easier, how to set up everything, and so on. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I wish I could play some music here and get this going, but I will look at the comments as I go through it. Okay. Let me share my screen. So give me 1 second. I mean, I could play music, but you know how Facebook and YouTube is, so they will suspend my account. All right. So let's start with. It's always a good idea to start with a Google Docs. One moment. Good morning, Andrews. How are you, sir? Okay, perfect. Now I can share my screen. Excellent. Can you guys still hear me? So the first thing that we're going to need, so we don't have to keep copying and pasting for this, is you are going to need your GA4 number, which I'm going to show you how to get that. Then you're also going to need your tracking number from Google. for Google Analytics, which you're gonna need that as well. And you're gonna need your Facebook pixel ID as well, right? And then we're gonna download a plugin called, let me see, because I forgot the name, Elevar. So we're gonna download this. You don't need to, it's free, but you don't need to, but it makes life easier. And then pretty much that's the only one that we need right there. So, and then we're gonna need to create an account Google Tag Manager, which we're gonna do that right now. So let me get one of this, and then let's go to Tag Manager. Whoops. And I'm gonna create here. So here I'm gonna go ahead and create a container. So this is for one of our properties, what you're looking at right now. But what you wanna do is create a container. So I'm gonna come here and create a container. I'm gonna call this container demo for you guys. And this is gonna be server side, right? And then gonna go ahead and click here where it says create. Okay, so automatically provision tagging server. So you're gonna go ahead and click in that. So it's automatically done. And here is gonna ask to select what Google Cloud Platform billing account I wanna use. If you don't have one set up, it's gonna look different here. It's gonna ask you to set up billing for Google Cloud and connect it to it. So just follow the steps because I already have it set up. It's just showing up, right? If you don't have it, you're gonna have to create a new billing account, and it's gonna be this setup here where you create a new account, right? So let me go back because that's not what I want to do. Uh, Wonder if I messed this one up. Let's just create a new one. Again, set it up here. This is going to take a few minutes to set up, right? In the meantime, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and come into your Facebook Business Manager and get your Pixel ID if you don't have it already. So go to Facebook and get your Pixel ID because you're going to need that once we're done setting this up real quick. And since I'm doing this live with you guys, it's going to take a little bit, right? So just bear with me. Yeah, it's taking forever. Boom, 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 boom. All right, this is taking forever, guys. So let's give it a couple minutes. I don't know why it's taking so long. And go ahead and come back to it as soon as it's done. So what I'm gonna do is instead of waiting for it, right? I'm just gonna jump into my actual one of my actual tag managers and show you how to configure. Which is basically why I'm doing this is to show you how to configure the click to call properly. Okay. So give me a second, and I'll do that right now. All right, got it. Perfect. So once it's configured, right, it's going to look something like this. And you're going to see here that I have two simple tags. One is my Google Analytics tag that is firing in all pages. So when I talk about your GA4 right here, this is it right here. This is your measurement ID. So you want to make sure that you have your measurement ID because you're going to need that more than once, right? And here you have also the conversion tag, and this is firing custom on a custom trigger here, right? And I'm gonna show you how to set this up real quick. This is just a test. And then you're gonna set up everything else in your client side, and you're gonna connect this to your server, so everything will pass in. And I'm gonna, I'm gonna give you the template so you can just export this and then connect it to yours without having to set it up. And you can go ahead and track everything here. Now, the first thing that you want to do, and not so much on the server side, but on the client side, is you want to come to variables and you want to set your Google Analytics and your metapixel variable as a constant, right? As a constant variable. So how you do that, just come here and create new. You're going to name this Facebook pixel. And then when you choose variables here, you're going to choose the one that says constant, and that is going to be your pixel ID number. So whatever that one is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you save that. The reason why I do it like this is so that when you are creating tags, instead of putting your pixel ID in every single tag, right? If for some reason you have to change your pixel ID, then what you can do is you can just come back to it, right? And set the pixel ID as a variable, right? What I mean by that. So whenever you configure an event, right? Like a scroll, a page view, a click, all these different events that you're seeing right here, right? Like a Facebook contact or a page view, all of them are going to ask you for your pixel ID. So if you put your pixel ID in each one manually, if for some reason down the line you decide that you're changing your pixel IDs, you will have to go and manually update every single tag. What you can do is what I just showed you. You create a variable that is a constant variable with that ID. So all you have to do then is just set this Facebook pixel ID to that variable that you created. So here's, the metapixel, right? There you go. And it will be added here. I'm double adding it, but you get the point. And that way you don't have to worry later on. If you change the ID, doesn't matter. It will be automatically updated there. Okay, you only have to change it in one part. Now, the other thing that you want to do is you want to set up the event to be able to track pretty much the click on the phone number. So in the click to call number, right? So I like to use Unbounce a lot. So for this demo, I'm going to show you how to do it in Unbounce. And I'm also going to show you how to install a free plugin that would allow you to easily create tags for your Google Tag Manager. So give me a second and let me log in and show you that real quick. All right. So let me bring this into the mix. All right. So this page looks something like this. This is broken here, but I got to fix that. It looks something like this, pretty simple, right? What we want to do is we want to make sure that we track here the get enrollment help as the event, as the conversion event, right? What happens most time is that when you're using the Facebook pixel and you're tracking here, it's tracking pretty much the phone number, not the element, and you can get inaccurate data, especially if you're using like a number pool or something like that. So one way to get around that it's by using the actual element that the person is clicking in instead of the phone number. So it doesn't matter what the phone number is, or it doesn't matter what the text is in the button. What does matter is the element that they're clicking. So to do that, I do it with a plugin that is called Elevart, which is this one right here. It's pretty simple to use. It's actually free. Uh, Not free, like a freemium. They have like a free tier that allows you to do, I think, like 10 events or something like that per month. Pretty cool. So what you want to do is you want to install this, right? So you go to the Chrome store and look for Elevar GTM extension. It should look something like this. And then you're going to go to the page that you want to tag. So in this sample, I want to go to get that. Hold on, let me see what this page looks like. 1 second. 1 second. All right, so I want to track this page right here. I want to track this button right here, this call button, right? So once you have the plugin installed right here, and you add whatever website you're working on, which is this one, then to create an event is pretty simple. You see right here in the top right hand side, you see there says new event. You just click new event, and then what you want to track here, first thing you want to track is a page view, right? So somebody's looking at this page, so you can page view all pages, confirm and save trigger, all pages, and then you can add a new event. Wait, 1 second, I didn't save this. Confirm and save trigger. Select your tag. The Google Analytics will be internal page for this one. If you want to call the event name, it will be page view. So I'm just going to name it page view. Save tag info, save the event. So this right now is going to track as a page view in your Google Analytics, and then you're going to be able to download this and configure in the tag manager. But the other one you want to do is the click, right? And you want to click this element right here. So this is going to choose a selector, which is LP Palm button 13 for this Elementor, and then confirm and save trigger. And then this will be a click. Oops. This will be a click and all pages, it doesn't matter. Add a tag, and then I'm going to configure this as an internal page. Click to call and save the tag info, save the event. You can go ahead and if you have a more complex landing page, you can go ahead and track everything else that you want to track, right? So once you're done tracking page views, scrolls, whatever it is, right, you can come here and it says download all the files. And the file is downloaded into my computer. So I click save, and you come to your Google Tag Manager, which is right here. And if you come to the admin to it, you're going to see here where it says import containers. See, import container right here, choose a container. That's the file that I just downloaded. So I click there, open. Choose a workspace as existing, but I don't want to overwrite. I want to merge and rename whatever is new, right? Confirm. Then everything that I just created right here, it's automatically added to my Google Tag Manager, effortless, right? So this that I just created with you guys, I'm sorry, this that I just created, if I can keep on tagging different things, like click on the picture. Again, if it was a more complex landing page, I can go on and do, some other pretty more interesting stuff. Like if this was like an e-commerce or something like that. But it's a pretty straightforward landing page. And what we want to do here more than anything is just make sure that we're tracking the click to call, right? So once you're done doing all that, if you have a form submission or something else like that, perfect. You can just import it, it's automatically imported. Then you can preview it. If you want to preview, make sure that everything is working properly. So get Perfect. So now it's connected. So if I come here, I can see that my tags are firing. So the tags that fire right now are the my configuration here in my page view, and then I did the page view again so you guys can see it, and also targets as a Facebook page view. So the tags that are not fire are the contact, which is the the click to call that we just set up. But if I was to come here to the page and actually, is this the page that I should be on, or it's another one? Okay, this one. And I click the get to call, assuming I was in the mobile phone, right? So it's prompting me that. So, but if I come back to my tag manager, I can see that it fired, right? As soon as I did the click, the Facebook contact fire on the server side, both to Facebook and to Google Analytics, and what I just did with you guys, right, as a demo. Any questions on that? And you can see here that the tag successfully fired. I'm using the constant variable as my pixel ID. That way I don't have to, worry about anything else later. And you can also see that the Google Analytics fire as a click to call based on that event. You can also see it here in the Google Analytics side because I'm sending information to the server using my server URL. Any questions on that? I know this is kind of hard to do it live, so I'm gonna have to do this again on a on a more step-by-step video because there's so many things that you have to do and doing it live. Some people are gonna understand. They'll be like, "Oh, okay, I get it." Other people are gonna be like, "Whoa, wait a second, break it down to me like step by step." So I'm probably gonna have to do another video, or Clayton break it down in a more easy to follow step by step for you guys. Andrew's got it. He said that's pretty clear. Okay, cool, love it. So I'm not losing you guys. Uh, Great. Another thing is here. As far as variables here, let me delete this so I don't get confused. My triggers, let me delete this. This is what I just imported. I don't want to get confused and as far as setting up the Facebook contact, okay? So you come here and like I just showed you, 1 second. So Elevar is only a Chrome plugin, no plugin needed for WordPress. No, you don't need a plugin for WordPress. So Elevar is just a simple plugin that allows you to tag easily the page, right? And then allows you to download that file, import it into your Google Tag Manager, and boom, you're good to go. That's all you need right there. As far as like installing the Google Tag Manager code in your website, yes, you're gonna have to put it in your header, I'm sorry, and before the body ends, you're gonna put like 2 pieces of code to make the Tag Manager work on your website, and then from there you can control everything on the back end. Anthony, where does all the data go that you're collecting? Sorry if I missed that. Really, we're not really collecting. I guess, yeah, we're collecting data, but it's more like analytical data. So it goes to Google Analytics, and also in this case, we're sending it to Facebook Pixel, right? So when somebody clicks, when somebody views the page, it's triggering that and updating the Facebook Pixel. Is it going to Facebook events so that you can measure with other statistics? Yeah. So when there is a page view, like you can see here in this tag, right? So what you can do is you can, to create a new tag, you come here and then new tag, right? And then here you're going to choose where it says discover more tags type in the community. And you can type in here Facebook. And you're going to see here the Facebook pixel archive here, this one. And you can choose this template, right? So you can choose this template and you can install it, right? So when you're choosing this template, remember what I told you, it's always going to ask you for your pixel ID. So if you create a constant variable, you can just come here, choose your constant variable, automatically put the pixel ID, and then you can choose what event type this is, right? So this event type could be a page view, a contact, a find location, a lead, purchase, blah, blah, blah. Or it could be, or it could be custom. You can name this whatever it is you want to name it, or set it more advanced if you want to do some other variable stuff, right? Or you can do a lot more advanced and do by based on the variable, like the click class and stuff like that. Most of the time, you're going to be using like a standard event, but yeah, you can use it, custom and stuff like that. You can also enable advanced matching if you're collecting more information. And then here where it says more settings, uh, the event ID, you got to make sure that you set the event ID uh, so it doesn't create duplicates, right? Even though Facebook is going to do the best at trying to, I'm not sure this is the event ID, so let me delete it and double check on that. But even though Facebook is going to do its best to deduplicate your event, you always want to make sure that you set it up in a way that the event ID is tracked and the more settings for all your custom tags to prevent that from happening. If that makes sense. Got it. Thanks. Awesome. Gracias. Okay. Awesome. I'm gonna delete this because I don't want this. So you're gonna do that for if you're doing this for page, right? So it's gonna be a standard event of page view. What is gonna trigger? Make sure that you trigger it in all pages, right? So trigger here all pages, and it's not letting me choose that. So I wonder why. And then the click one, you want to trigger your Facebook contact, right? So here, this will be a contact. So when somebody clicks on an event, this is the one that you want to trigger. So click all events, trigger contact. Cool, cool. Any questions so far? No questions? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure that my triggers. Okay, tags. Some of this you have to enable because it won't display by default. So you can add a lot more than you need to. Just these are the ones that I use. But yeah, you can get pretty selective and the variables that you can configure that are pre-built, or you can always create your own variables. Well, awesome, guys. I hope that makes sense to a lot of you guys. And then we're gonna go ahead and make like a more detailed setup that shows you how to do it, kind of like in a more step-by-step guide instead of flying back and forth. But for some of you guys, you're like, okay, I get it. I know what I have to do. For the rest, no worry. We'll put something more uh, step by step together for you guys. And then I'll put a link so you can download it or watch that video. And then if you have any questions, this is a good time to ask him, and I'll try my best to answer them. Awesome. Thank you. You're very welcome. Got it. Thanks. No problem. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Really appreciate it. And looking forward to the next Money Making Monday and showing you guys how to implement very simple stuff to get the most ROI in your pay per call campaigns. Okay. Peace out. Take care.